Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Mulder. Today, I kind of want to go into why radionics works. Okay. Well, I know we've discussed that basically it's a mind machine. That's exactly what it is. It's a mind machine. It interacts, it interfaces with human consciousness. It's just an extension of you. There's nothing magical about it. It just works within the laws of the universe. And this comes into play where I did a show with Mobius, I guess about 2 weeks ago, and we were discussing this very same topic. It was called the Xenos effect, and basically, it's all about perspective. I think one of the experiments that Mobius noted was that uh, some scientists had access to electron microscope and they had some uranium and they wanted to watch uranium decay and release energy in the form of radiation. And so they started observing the uranium and it ceased to decay. In other words, it stopped being radioactive. How can merely observing something make it change its entire, I don't know, its entire being or its existence by merely observing? How can it do something that dramatic? And that goes to what these machines are. They're merely observers. They're an extension of you. You tune them to do a job, to observe for you into reality, a certain intent, as part of your will, part of whatever it is that makes up you that you're projecting into the universe. Is just a tool to do this. And as a result of that, it molds, it kind of hacks into reality and it changes things to you, the observer. And that's what it's all about. The observer effect is a part of it's a part of what makes us magic. That's where it comes from, ladies and gentlemen. You are the magic. I keep saying this over and over again. I can't get away from this premise because at the end of the day, what makes radionics works is the operator. Chuck said that a million times. He says the operator was the main tool. It was the main part of a radionics device, and that goes with anything. People who practice magic, whether it's white or black magic, that's irrelevant. I mean, they all work on the same premise. They just have different intents behind. The operator or the quote unquote magician has a different background or different outlook on things or a different intent when it comes to doing things. Um, and so yeah, that's a part of it, but this is, what makes radionics special is simplicity. And the fact that, once you practice on these things, you become more proficient and you don't even think about it. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, when I tune a machine now, uh, it takes me about 30 seconds to tune a machine. I have in my mind, I may see the photograph of a target or whatever on my computer screen and get in my mind as to exactly what I'm trying to influence in this reality. I would say it's probably my reality, which interfaces with somebody else's reality because I'm working for a client, for example, or what have you, or going toward just doing an obscure target that doesn't that really doesn't actually affect me immediately or in my environment. It doesn't really affect my environment. um so these it's just astounding, how people find the mystery in this, but there is no mystery. um when you finally understand how reality truly is, or how it works, when you finally figure this out, it's going to blow your mind. And again, the show, which I suggest to people to re-listen to or listen to again, it's I think it was called Mobius and the Quantum, and we're discussing about quantum computers and that kind of a thing, and really that kind of delves into something else too, an important thing. Do you know that 90% of the technology of the money they put into the manufacturing of a quantum computer goes into isolating it from the operator, from human consciousness. That's the reason why it's super cold. It's shielded. I mean, they've gone through every possible thing they can do. Well, you know what? Radionics bypasses all those roadblocks merely by the fact that you're able to concentrate on that computer and get to do things that normally would not do. It's a resource. I keep telling everybody, look at everything as a resource. I don't care if it's the chakras of the earth or the clouds in the sky. It's a freaking resource. It's given to you. You have been given the universe. And it's a big secret and they don't want you to know about it, but that's where it all comes from. And so, you know, I what I've seen now is a great awakening in mankind too, because of all this. We're seeing the veil being lifted away and showing us what truly, makes our world work. And it's astounding. It's truly astounding. And so I like to say that what I'm seeing right now, I like to hope that I had some little part to play in it. And I've definitely set machines to see what see people awaken and realize that just how powerful they are and just how powerful you are because you can do anything you want. This place is a fantasy. It's an illusion. What you're seeing around you is a freaking illusion. It exists, but it doesn't exist. Now, and I'm going to kind of close this little rant of mine. I know it's been the stream of consciousness. It's just the way I operate. And I know I sound like an AD or like I have ADHD. Maybe, but neither here nor there. Um, what, I kind of want to close this thing with just letting you know that nothing is and it appears to be. And I'm going to give you an example. Mobius and I were discussing that this reality works on a certain frequency. In other words, it goes up and down. If you've probably seen this, I'm sure everybody's seen like these little waveforms and what have you, like for electronics or electrical or whatever. I'm sure you've come across it, in some math class, in school. So a waveform. Anyway, at the top of the waveform, for example, we exist. Okay, we're on and off, on and off, on and off. Okay, at the bottom of the waveform, what's going on? Think of this as like a fluorescent light. Fluorescent light blinks on and off 60 times a second, but it blinks so fast that in your mind it's continuous light. Okay, it's tricking you. In reality, you're in the dark half the time when you're under fluorescent lighting. You don't realize it because it's happening so fast. But that's neither here nor there. So reality is the same way. For on the top half of that waveform, you are here. On the bottom half of that waveform, where are you at? What's going on? Well, that is your interconnection with the quote unquote spirit world. That's where you're in the other dimension, where you the essence of you. If for those of you who believe you have a soul, that's where your soul goes to half of your life. So half of your life, you really don't exist. Not in this reality. You do not exist. You have the illusion that you are in a continuous flow, but you're not. Just like that fluorescent light, you're in the dark, you exist. You don't exist, you exist. It's something to ponder. And so, where are you at another half of that waveform? Where are you at? And when you've answered that question, you will know just how powerful you are and what you have access to. There's a lot of people in history, I think, were able to access that other half of the waveform very efficiently. They're your geniuses, like Tesla, quote unquote Einstein, the people that or Isaac Newton, for example, the great geniuses throughout history. Where did they get all that genius from? Yeah, they were highly intelligent people because they were able to interpret what they were given. But where did they get it from? Did it come out of their mind, or did it come from that other half of that waveform? So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this keeps you gives you something to think about. And anyway, with that note, have a great day. Bye.